When most people are thinking of wine country in Northern California, they think of Napa, but I'm here to show you why you probably may want to reconsider moving to Napa County and move to Sonoma County instead. And if you choose Napa, you might be making the wrong decision, and choosing Sonoma County may end up being the best decision you could ever make. When I moved from the Bay Area, it was for me certainly, so here's why. I'm going to show you in less than 20 minutes why moving to Sonoma County was the best decision of my life, and why we've so many clients from the Bay Area who have either moved to Sonoma County as they transition to retirement, or who were looking for a second home in wine country and chose Sonoma County over Napa County. So let me explain why. First, I want to start by explaining to you why many people choose to live in Napa County. I'll show you some clients' experiences, why they picked a place in Napa, and how they're feeling about that decision so far. So one of my clients used to live in San Francisco, and they decided to make the move to Napa County. It was a big decision. They chose to move to St. Helena because they love good food, and St. Helena definitely has a few good restaurants. Another reason they chose St. Helena was because they like the heat, and so the further north you go in Napa Valley, the warmer it is. They were a young couple, well, late 30s, who've got a dog and no kids. They were lucky that they could both work from home and so keep their existing jobs in San Francisco. So don't get me wrong, they really love the lifestyle. I mean, we often joke because he's British as well, and so we often have to pinch ourselves because when we were growing up in the UK, we could never imagine we'd both live in such amazing places. Now that they've lived in Napa County for a few years, there are a few things that are definitely impacting their lifestyle in a way they hadn't imagined. For example, the hot summers were a driver for them to choose St. Helena, but the reality is it's almost too hot. In the summer months, they literally have to stay in the house from 11 to 4 p.m. with the air conditioning running. It's just too hot for the dog to be even outside, and it's too hot to do any type of exercise or yard work, except at each end of the day. If you've been to St. Helena, you'll know what a beautiful place it is, but one of the challenges with St. Helena, and Napa as a whole, is the traffic. There is only really one main road through the whole valley, or two if you count Silverado Trail, but in the summer when you get all the tourists visiting the wineries, the traffic can get really bad, with Highway 29 turning into a slow procession. The other thing which has impacted them is that the fact if they want to go shopping to a big grocery store or big box store, then they really need to go to Napa, which is a 40-minute drive away. But even though Napa County is a good place to live, the areas around Santa Rosa, Sonoma, Healdsburg, or Sebastopol in Sonoma County continue to be among the most researched cities in the area as an option for people to move to. And here's why. I know when we were looking at our options for moving to wine country, we were quickly drawn to Sonoma County. For us, it was a combination of things ranging from the more laid-back people, diversity of locations, and the options for living an outdoor lifestyle. So let's first talk about the different locations. I mean, Sonoma County has a much more diverse range of cities to choose from. If you're working in Santa Rosa, which is the main urban centre, you still have a lot of options to choose from. Healdsburg, for example, is just 15 minutes away. Often described as the jewel of Sonoma County, Healdsburg combines small-town charm with a sophisticated array of shops, restaurants and wineries. With the recent influx of Michelin star restaurants, Healdsburg's definitely beginning to catch up with Napa's reputation for high-end dining. Sonoma City is rich in history and culture, and like Healdsburg, it's got a historic plaza, similar in size to Healdsburg. Sonoma probably has a richer cultural heritage, but has plenty of boutiques and wineries, which attracts both tourists and locals. Sebastopol, on the other hand, is also just 15 minutes from Santa Rosa, is known for its more bohemian vibe and its hub for artists and creatives. It offers an eclectic range of shops and is famous for its apple production, its vineyards of course, and the Barlow Centre, a market district with local artisans and producers. It's a really cool place. If you haven't been there, definitely check it out. Finally, if you want a cooler climate and to enjoy the redwoods, head out to the Russian River and the coastal area. Whether you choose to live there or just want to head to the coast to hike, Sonoma County's coastline, including towns like Bodega Bay and Jenner, offer breathtaking ocean views, rugged beaches and a cooler, fog-influenced climate. So what about the outdoor lifestyle? There's no question that Sonoma County has more on offer for those who like the outdoors. Cycling in Sonoma County is world-class, particularly road biking on the back roads. I mean, it's easy to go an hour without ever seeing another car or bike if you get off the mainstream roads. Napa County also has great cycling, but it's much hotter. In the heat of summer, there's no way to get away from the searing heat compared to Sonoma County, when you can just head west and be at the coast in 30 to 40 minutes if you live west of the 101. I mean, if hiking is your thing, again, there are so many options across the varied terrain of Sonoma County, from coastal trails along the Pacific to mountainous paths through redwood forests more inland. I mean, right in Santa Rosa, there's Spring Lake Regional Park, which provides lakeside strolls and challenging hikes up to vantage points with panoramic views of the city and beyond. And then nearby, you've got Annandale Park, which has dozens of miles of trail that traverse meadows, forests, and rocky ledges with views across Sonoma Valley. I mean, it really is spectacular. For ocean vistas, the Cortum Trail starting at Goat Rock Beach, just south of Jenner, winds along the bluffs above the sea with striking views. This is definitely one of my favourite areas to hike. And then just inland from Jenner, along the Russian River, is Armstrong Woods, which has got easy trails through majestic old-growth redwoods. So it's really amazing. Just north wherever I live in Healdsburg, Lake Sonoma Recreation Area provides miles of trails for all levels around the lake and up Dry Creek Valley. I mean, whether you're looking for coastal walks, forest walks, or hikes among rolling hills, there really is something for everyone in Sonoma County. There's so much more to do outdoors beyond just hiking and cycling there, including kayaking, paddleboarding on the Russian River, horse riding through redwood groves, and even zip lining and on hot air ballooning. Of course, if golf is your thing, then it's got some of the top public and private courses, including what's often cited as one of the best 9-hole courses in the US, designed by Alistair Mackenzie, who also designed the Masters course at Augusta. So Sonoma County really has just got a much greater diversity of things to do if you're into the outdoor lifestyle. So what about real estate? Well, average prices in Sonoma County are about 10% lower than Napa County. However, that doesn't really tell the whole story. There's no question that if you're looking for a prestigious wine country estate with an address to match, then you'll have much more choice in Napa. While Sonoma has wine country estates that are more than a match for those in Napa, Sonoma County, it again has lots more diversity. If you are looking to buy a home for $800,000, you'll have a lot more options. You could choose to live out in the Russian River or in neighborhoods like in Santa Rosa, those in Petaluma, Windsor, or more of a rural place elsewhere in the county. If you want the $1.5 million plus wine country home, again, you've got so many different options, both geographically, but also when it comes to the overall feel of the place, as well as the different microclimates. I mean, Napa was probably the pioneer of high-end resort living in places like Auberge, Meadowwood, Solage, and so on. Again, if that is what you're looking for, then Sonoma County has now got a version of that with the new developments in Healdsburg, such as Montage and Mill District. I mean, I have a number of clients who started looking in Napa County for a second home and then ended up buying in Sonoma County because of the much more relaxed rules when it comes to operating vacation rentals. In Napa County, there's a strict limit on the number of vacation rental permits issued, which to all intents and purposes means that anyone buying a property today in Napa County won't be able to operate it as a vacation rental. In Sonoma, on the other hand, there are a lot of different places where it's possible to get a permit, thereby enabling a second homeowner to effectively own a second home, but get all the costs covered by vacation rental income. I mean, it's hard to go into all the different options in this video, but regardless of your price point or limitations based on your work location, Sonoma County offers by far the greatest diversity of real estate options, whether you want to move here, buy a second home, or buy an investment property. So is there a difference in the types of people who live in Sonoma versus Napa? I mean, this is a difficult one, but I would say yes. Of course, this is going to be hugely subjective and a generalization, but depending on what type of person you are, you may find it easier to find your tribe in one county or another. For me, I like the slightly more grounded approach of people in Sonoma. If you go to Napa Valley, it's often all about who you know or how much money you have and what's the most expensive wine you've got in your cellar. Of course, you get those foodie and wine snobs anywhere, but I feel you're much more likely to run into them in Napa. I feel like Napa is probably more like Palo Alto, where it's all about keeping up with the Joneses. I had an interaction with a realtor in Calistoga when I was working on a transaction recently, which to me summed it up. She continually referred to "we in the valley." I didn't like to burst her bubble and let her know that Sonoma also has a valley, or a few valleys. I didn't let on that there is more than one valley in wine country, but it did make me smile. By the way, if you're moving to Sonoma County from out of the area, make sure you grab my Sonoma County relocation guide, and I'll put a link in the description below. There you'll find everything you need to know before moving here. A breakdown of the area, the things to do, the different neighborhoods, and way more. So make sure to check it out. We've now had a place in Sonoma County for over 10 years, dating back to when we first had a second home here when we lived in Mill Valley. If I had to sum it up, I would distill my preference for Sonoma into 3 things. Firstly, the people. Everyone is just more comfortable in their own skin. They don't have anything to prove. They've either lived here all their life, or they've moved here from the Bay Area and are just hugely appreciative to live in such an amazing place. The diversity. Everything Sonoma has to offer has more variety compared to Napa County, whether it's varied climates, diversity of places to live, or the variety of outdoor activities. And finally, the food and wine. If you live here, you need a wide range of restaurants. Sonoma County is hard to beat with the farm-to-table dining and with so much fresh produce on its doorstep. However, with Healdsburg now having 4 Michelin star restaurants, it's beginning to compete. But if you live here, you need a wide range of restaurants. And Sonoma County is hard to beat with its farm-to-table dining with so much fresh produce on its doorstep and such a variety of options. If you made it to this point in the video, there's a good chance that you're thinking about buying your next home, investing in this area, buying a second home, or selling your current one. We'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. Just email me at david@brewingtonhargreaves.com to get started. Our team is the #1 Sonoma County team, having helped 71 families and investors last year who bought a total of $78 million worth of property. With us, you get the inside access to the developers, homes coming on the market. We're also the #1 second home and vacation rental resource in the county, and way more. But before you go, if you like this video, you'll love my next video about everything you need to know before deciding to move to Sonoma County. I break down the A to Z to different areas, what it's like living here, and way more. So you can watch that video now by clicking up here to check it out. See you in the next one.